What's the void hiding? Is it riches? Is it power? Is it knowledge? Well, we don't know yet, but we'll be following the lives of 5 tribal void worshippers who are dying to find out. Welcome to the story of the void cult. They are currently ritualists, which means that they love provoking the void and learning more about it, but it also means that they're pretty slow at researching normal things. They haven't fully grasped the void, but there is still time for that. This is a fluid ideology, which means that it can change as the cult progresses in severity. But yeah, they also like to eat other things, as they are void cultists. Upon arriving, Philly brought a sword of his own, a profane scimitar, which is generally a normal sword, except that this time it's made out of gold. And that pretty much means that we are already being targeted by everybody else because of the amount of wealth that this sword brings in. And that is about 7,500 silver, which is a third of our wealth at this point. And yeah, Sam, the tribal ranger child, also brought something, and that is a legendary sniper, which means that being a careful shooter with 11 shooting skill and a burning passion for shooting, she also has the best sniper in existence of the universe, so it's safe to say that she'll be hitting every shot there is. Well, the first important task is getting set up, so the cultists have used galvanized square steel and eco-friendly wood veneers to make this into a makeshift house until they get to move in somewhere safer. And one of them also borrowed expansion screws from their aunt so that they can make it sturdier. Being tribals and without any leather at the moment, we'll have to settle for sleeping on the floor. But at least we'll have the luxury of eating at this table that we stole from some people that most likely won't need it anymore. Of course, we wouldn't get very far without food, so we set up a quick rice farm that would satisfy our hunger until we get some better things. And one of those better things is cougar meat, and fortunately a cougar started hunting our Labrador retriever, so we gathered up all of our strength to put it down. Henry over here was repairing the galvanized square steel while the others just waited for the dates to pass. The cultists also decided to have a binge party for whatever reason, eating up all of the food that we had left. Philly over here being the wisest and the oldest, he decided that this was a waste of time and resources, so he decided to go to this strange looking monolith, and he investigated and provoked it for some sort of reaction unknown to him and the others. Days were passing slowly, and the cultists built pens to preserve as much of the food as possible, as there was a drought, and that means that the rice won't be growing anytime soon. There's 5 mouths to feed, and there is not a single source of food that we have. We are also on our last few meals. Fortunately, there was also a lynx attack in the meantime, and the trader came in. This is great news for the tribals, as now we can get rid of the overpriced sword that we have for just a fraction of the cost. And we got ourselves an auto pistol too. It looks like a shuttle crashed nearby, and there seem to be survivors. Looks like Storch is a really good candidate for a new cultist, so we'll rescue him and hope he joins. He's a hard worker and a beast in combat, and that's all that we care about really. After some long excruciating days, the cultists finally saw their first anomaly. This was a side stealer, and ironically, Holland kicked dirt in its eyes, so it became 80% blind. So in this case, he was the real side stealer. We also built a little containment cell for the unfortunate being, just to be able to study it a little bit and get some knowledge. Right after capturing the poor thing, we got citizenship, of course. And being a void cult, we will be in the nation of the void cult, in the beautiful community of Calamaria. Storch was so inspired by the name of our town that he decided to join. He'll take the auto pistol as he is currently the only non-tribal person here and probably knows how to use this technology or whatever. Because Storch is a non-believer, he's soon gonna be pretty unhappy about our ways, so we'll need to enlighten him and show him the correct religion. We'll have Harding here become the corrupt ritualist so that she can talk some sense into the non-believers. Storch did not like this, so he insulted everybody in the room. We'll have to hold a conversion ritual for him, but before we do that, we need to make the room as beautiful as possible so that he's more compelled to join. In the meantime, Harding needed a new name for the corrupt ritualist role that she got, so she decided that she would be called Babka. The changed room didn't really up our chances, but the conversion ritual was effective. Storch is now slightly more convinced to fully commit to the cult. And we got our first quest from the Empire. Therosia Palalogos escaped from an ambush, but she's being hunted by a bunny. She wants us to help her in exchange for 8 honor, which is really good for us. We can use this honor to later get powerful abilities from the Empire, so we'll gladly help her. Babka will be the one to receive the honor, as she is currently our prophet. And in cultist fashion, we let Pala Luigi deal with the rabbit herself. And she did it, not even a scratch. While the Pala Lama was casting her voodoo magic on the tools we had to make them more durable, we got a raid from the Lou Pig, and you guessed it, the raiders were pigs. Unfortunately, our dog Cecily got hit with a frag grenade, so she decided to take a nap and get hit by another frag grenade before taking an even longer nap. Babka's really not going to be happy about that one. At this point I wasn't looking at Sam, but she hit a nasty shot from downtown. She completely obliterated that guy, and I didn't check which vital organ was hit, but she sure did a good job. Storch was just shooting and dodging this poor guy's nades while the others took turns at shooting him with their bow. This raid was overall pretty successful for us, as we got some target practice as well as some pig meat and dog meat as well. So don't ask about the source of the food, all that matters is that we are fed for the next day. With the raid out of the way, we can say goodbye to Palleluia, as she departs on her personal shuttle. Now, being tribals, we can't really research things by using this thing called technology or whatever, so we'll just have to do it on the floor by setting down these research spots. Another thing we can also do is a tribal gathering, where we can focus on brainstorming and in general just sharing knowledge with the others. With these intellectual advancements, we can start researching some storage to keep the room a bit cleaner. With the Anomaly DLC, we can also research anomalous things, so we'll work on the Void Provocation first, as that is the bread and butter of our ideology. After 17 days we finally got our first guest. It's a single woman named Fur from the Roatna Federation, and we built her some quality bedding out of our most premium leather. She's also naked by the way, so she'll need the warmth. With that, we researched Void Provocation, so we'll place a temporary ritual spot until we can make a deserving ritual room for it. We'll immediately start digging into this mountain to start moving into a safer and more appropriate environment for the Void Cultists. It looks like some zombie shamblers heard about our grand plans and decided to visit, so we'll make sure that they feel safe by shooting them in the face. And we also got our first shard. Shards are really powerful as they are fragments of dark Arco technology, and they can be used in many essential crafting recipes for our cult. They can be used in making really strong weapons and are sometimes even required for the rituals that we might want to perform. They are most useful when creating unkillable super soldiers though, but you'll learn more about that soon enough. Now that some time has passed and we've hunted down some leather, we'll create 6 high quality bedrolls for the tribals without any galvanized steel at this time, but we'll get that later when we get some beds researched. The guest was also so impressed with our quality accommodation that she left us 15 sapphire. Days passed by, we waited and shared knowledge, we mined, we hunted, we harvested, we cooked, and finally we did our first ritual. We provoked the void and now we wait. One thing I can tell you though is that these people have no idea what awaits them on the other side, and it's bad. The first thing that showed up is a Gorhulk, fortunately only one, but let's just admire how beautiful this one is. Henry was feeling brave, so he tried to 1v1 the thing, but decided that it's better if he just includes a little bit of teamwork. This was quick work for the cultists, and we'll even capture it for some valuable research. The containment cell it's in is pretty bad, so we'll have to do some research of the ceiling platform, which is a bit stronger than just roping it to the ground. With the tribals working hard on research, we finally got our first piece of human technology, the Neolithic storage. We can use this to store the garbage we have laying around, so we'll just place some chests and later some pots and tanning racks as well. Our beloved Gorhulk decided that it's time to break free from the rope holding him to the rocks, so he's now breaking down the door. Fortunately, we were able to deal with it without taking too many injuries and without killing it as well. Fortunately, we have researched the sailing platform shortly after, so we'll build it and move the Gorhulk there. Things were going pretty slowly until Holland, who is 17, decided to compare Sam to a golden grassland, and now they're lovers. Start off young by any means, but my guy, Sam is 49 years old. She's more than 3 times older than you at the moment. But who am I to get in the way of young love? If they want to do it, they'll get a double bed as well to deepen their relationship. It's the Void Cult after all. Age doesn't matter. We'll learn about that in a little bit when we unlock some crazy aging and de-aging options. Seems like what's morally right for the cultists might not be universal for everybody on the Rim, so we got a raid of multiple pirates. It's a total of 2 raiders and they don't seem to be either very strong or very smart, as this guy wants to break down this door to run away, but he just entered through this other door not even 2 seconds ago, so yeah, we dealt with them pretty efficiently. It looks like some enemy of the Empire of the Sun wants us to help him betray them, and of course, being the literal Void Cult, the Empire is just in our way of world domination, so we'll happily do more than just simply betray them. We'll first do a Yeoman ceremony for Babka, which will force the Imperials to come and bestow our Babka with the title, and on top of that, it will give us powerful psycasts as well, and then we'll betray the Empire. This ceremony is a reward for dealing with that bunny from earlier. With possibly the greatest moment in Babka's life so far, she became hungry for blood, gaining the bloodlust trait. This means that she'll be happy when she kills people, which is perfect for our melee people such as her. We'll also give her a speed boost and a long jump ability with new psycast that we got from the Empire, which means that she can get into the battle quicker and avoid getting shot down before she can even get in range. Before betraying the Empire, we have to strengthen our security with some traps, as they are really strong, like way stronger than we are at the moment. And scammer gets scammed. We are now officially enemies of the Empire. They're obviously not gonna be happy about that, so they'll be attacking with 3 people immediately. It looks like Corticos doesn't care about our traps whatsoever and just tanked every single trap, and he's still standing, but doesn't look like it's gonna be for too long. The others weren't as tough as he was, so yeah, they went down without any issues. Also, we have Sam who doesn't miss, so that helps. Looks like Corticos was high on a bunch of things, which explains why he was able to withstand all of those traps. With this small quest, we got an Imperial member of the cult, which will come in handy later. With half a year passing since the beginning of our little journey, we have received our first distress signal. Our enemies are asking us for help and they're offering everything they have in exchange, so this can only mean one thing. There's something seriously scary going on at their place. We don't want to waste any time, so we'll go there as soon as we have healed up. Before we could go, we got raided by the choke band. They're sending people with asthma for some reason, but there's 5 people there, so we might have some issues in dealing with them. We'll send Sam first to try to snipe them from a long distance, as she's really good at that. Sam seems to have hit a crazy shot, completely obliterating this guy's liver, and the other guy just straight up said, "Nope, I'm out," and just left. We still have 3 other people to deal with though. And let's see if Sam can hit... And she does. She shot Farash's neck, so she'll be bleeding out in a few hours only. She missed her next few shots, but it's raining out and the raider is behind cover, so we'll give her that. Sam missed another shot unfortunately, even without any rain this time, but the next one? That's right, the next one destroyed this guy's spine. I'm not sure how she managed to do that, but yeah. Another shot hit this guy's right arm, and she decided to bait the raider into some eco-friendly wooden traps, and that seems to have finished the job. Sam was able to single-handedly stop a raid of 5 people, so we'll have to do something really nice for her in the future. Holland decided to tend Farash's wounds and then capture her. She'll be a useful asset to our tribe if she decides to join. We also had a drop pod crash recently. Moke the Funny arrived, and we captured her as well just a moment ago, so now we have 2 prisoners. The big dog Larry offered to dump some toxic waste on us in exchange for an excellent void sculpture, and this is simply an offer that we cannot refuse. This would improve our ritual quality drastically, so we'll take it. Around the same time, we got a fight token called Fur, who offered to join us, and she's a Pollux skin, so she's gonna want to eat the toxic waste. This is a perfect combo for us, so yeah, we'll take her in. She'll be followed by 5 enemy archers, but that's okay, we'll deal with them. Upon arriving, we can see that she has 16 mining, which will be really useful in digging into this mountain. And she's okay with plants too. And here come the 5 archers. We'll let Sam deal with them as she has proven that she's pretty capable. And it looks like Sam missed, but there's not much time now to try and gun them down again as they seem to be chasing her. This turned out to be pretty bad as the archers have a very fast runner gene, so they'll be way faster than Sam. Luckily, one of them has a bite scar on his right leg, so he's moving a little bit slower. Fortunately, Sam was able to run away and the archers seem to have died to the traps without us even intervening, so that's good. The last one ran away because you can never know how many more traps we have in store for them. It's the right time for us to finally go and investigate the distress signal. We'll have everyone except Fur go there as we do need to take care of the prisoners and she's gonna need to move some waste packs that we have received recently. She'll also plant a bush that absorbs the pollution, albeit very slowly. Not even half a day later, we arrive at the distress signal and it looks ridden with flesh beasts. We'll do our best to clean it up, but it looks like we were ambushed by the flesh beasts and a few more of them showed up. Barely a problem though. It looks like Henry found a legendary monument called the Depressed Mushroom. This monument has 3,760 beauty. It's the pinnacle of art on the RimWorld. This piece will draw all kinds of people just to have a chance at looking at it. Finding such a valuable monument in a pile of flesh beasts can only mean one thing. The Void God has heard our prayers. We have been blessed. This monument can drastically increase the beauty of any room it's in, which will increase the mood of all of our cultists. This means that we can put them through so much more torture before they can break down, which is perfect. We also found some legendary earrings, some batteries, turrets, beds, and other small things. Meanwhile at home, a boomalope fell into one of our traps and exploded, causing a massive fire. Even though Fur is deathly afraid of fire, she was able to put it out before it caused any significant damage. The local skeleton wasn't super happy about that, it seems, so he was going to teach Fur a lesson. She picked up a nearby bow and 1v1 the creature. The skeleton was throwing all types of its bones at Fur, forearms, knees, feet, anything it could find. Even though Fur's shooting skill is literally zero, she still managed to hit a couple of her shots. They traded some shots back and forth and the skeleton somehow started bleeding bone marrow or something. I don't know, but he was bleeding super hard. Now this is super sped up, but the fight lasted so long that the skeleton decided that he simply wasn't going to be mad anymore, so he just walked away. Looks like there was a transport pod crash nearby. A Chemi crashed here and wants to join. The only problem is that she'll be paralyzed for about 30 days. We'll take her in and call her Simo because it's a more fitting name. Emoke seems to have gone berserk and wanted to fight for Ash, but she has a prosthetic arm so she missed pretty much every swing. And yeah, she went down without much of a fight. While Storch was on a mental break, Babka told him a couple of secrets about the Void Cult and that seemed to be enough for him to join us. Now since we are back, we'll install this legendary monument in the general area, increasing our room impressiveness from 90 to 167, which is really crazy in itself. This means that the tribals will be happy about sharing this beauty of a room with the others. The room obviously looks very good, as you can tell by the immaculate floor design. The different floor types really give off the tribal vibe. But not to worry, we'll be moving into the mountains soon enough. A nearby settlement called Township by the Desert wants 140 human leather in exchange for some really good stuff. Not sure if we should trust a town called Township by the Desert when there is literally not a single desert for hundreds or even thousands of miles out. So we'll have to wait just a little bit to make sure. In the meantime, let's go for some random unsuspecting survivors in the wild. They seem to be collecting some valuable food and we might even get some human leather while we're there. This was really no big deal. We handled the first group without taking a hit and the second one wasn't much different. Except that Minyo over here, fully dripped out with a pink beard and a pirate hat, decided to fully sprint at like 300% speed, on top of taking like 10 bullets straight to the face. I mean, he died, but still. It says he's a genetically slow runner, like, yeah, sure he is. Unfortunately, we had a group of zombies come from inside the walls while our fighters were out, so we'll see how this turns out. But fortunately, they did get back before the zombies became a real problem. In all this chaos, we kinda forgot that we had prisoners to feed, so Emoke died. She was not a very useful one, we won't miss her that much, but we have finally converted Fur Ash to the cult's religion. She is nimble and tough, which is a nasty combo. This is a great frontline pawn that we can use. The only downside is that she gets cancer more frequently. It's okay though, people are disposable to the void gods. We will use them for as long as they are useful. Anyway, we'll start recruiting her to the cult now. Well, now it's time to get the Psilink Neuroformers and formally betray the Empire by raiding them. We will take a few people and go there as soon as possible. Storch, Henry and Nostio will do this, and since we are starving at the moment, we'll have Sam hunt a Mega Slot with the moral support of the others. We keep them behind just in case the Mega Slot decides to go crazy on Sam for harming it, but it looks good so far. Sam is able to hit all of her shots and she eventually also takes the Mega Slot down. This will be enough food for now as this was an emergency hunt. It looks like our raiders have finally arrived. There seems to be a shuttle that's departing soon as well as a measly one soldier and a turret. This should be pretty easy. We snuck around, surprised the Imperial soldier and easily took her down. Hopefully the turret doesn't explode. We'll have Henry come up and attack it while the others shoot it and... well, Henry's dead, unfortunately. He was only 21 as well. You never know what's going to happen to you on the Rim. He was one of the best melee fighters as well as one of the starting 5 tribals that we had. He'll be greatly missed, but let's look at it from the bright side. We have found some tech prints as well as 2 Psilink Neuroformers. These will be really useful as we can use the new Imperial Deserter to cast some Forbidden Empire magic. We'll take what we can just to get back home to try and bury Henry, as that's the least we can do for him. Back home, while hunting, Holland angered the Boomalope he was shooting, so this can be pretty deadly as Boomalopes typically explode when they are killed. Holland will try to run away while the Boomalope chases him, and fortunately he was able to hurt the Boomalope pretty bad, so it's moving only at 67% of its original speed. But unfortunately Henry doesn't have a leg, so he'll have to hop as fast as he can if he wants to stay alive. Philly was nearby and heard the distressed Holland, so he'll try to help. He got a clean hit here on the Boomalope, slowing it down significantly, and another one which will down it. Holland's death flashed before his eyes as he saw the other Boomalope running towards him, but luckily the animal was only frightened. Holland lives another day. Anyway, the pollution is getting out of hand, piling up and polluting the terrain, and it even attracted a nearby insect hive to emerge and plant their cocoons so that they can spawn some insects. We'll need to have Nostio use one of the Psilink Neuroformers that we stole so that we can have a few more psychic powers to aid us in combat. He'll get the Burden spell for now, which slows people down, but later on he'll want to learn the Psychic Shock one, as that can be really useful. I only caught this with a glimpse of my eye, but it looks like Sam butchered Henry. She must have really craved some exotic meat, or she simply hated Henry. We don't know which one it is, but we can't bury Henry anymore. We'll have to keep him in our prayers while we hold the funeral without his corpse. And let's call this a wrap for the first episode. The cultists have gone through enough for now. We have set up and built the foundation for the cult, and for the next episode you'll see how we deal with the infestation at the start, but also a lot more anomalous creatures and events. The next episode is full of highs and lows, and while I was playing it, it was one of the most intense experiences I've had in RimWorld, so you'll have to stick around and see it. This is my first video in like 7 or 8 years, so I'd really appreciate all the feedback you can give me. I know this video might not be perfect, I mean, there's probably a lot of flaws in it, so just tell me in the comments what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I'll make sure to read all of them and respond to as many as I can. But yeah, next episode should be a bit better with like the quality and stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Bye bye.